All right. Did we get the stream turned on in the right place? Holy crap, we did. That's like a week straight I've been getting this thing turned on properly. I am very impressed with myself. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in empowered monoliths. That doesn't really mean much because I'm not really in a position to actually be able to do anything with empowered monoliths, but so how does this work? Leap backwards, throw a net, which snares enemies and deals physical damage. Netted bosses and rare enemies have 35% less movement speed. Other enemies are immobilized. Caltrops. Caltrops do. Creates an area of sharp caltrops that deals physical damage when enemies fast walk. Oh, first walk over them. Enemies only take damage once per caltrops area, but stacking multiple on top of each other will cause enemies to take damage from each of the areas. Okay. Caltrops from all sources deal damage in a larger area. Caltrops base critical strike chance. If net hits an enemy, you now also throw caltrops at your target location where the net hits. Can occur once per 2 seconds. Okay. Net hits have a chance to cause enemies to bleed. I don't really care. That deals more damage, and definitely don't care about that. Snares enemies in a larger area. Net's hit cannot be dodged. Falcon deals more damage. Net hits apply frailty. Netted enemies deal less physical. Slows enemies. Using net grants you the Huntress advantage buff. Yo, Wyatt. You got the exclamation mark on the wrong side of that, buddy. Exclamation first. Those target the Huntress advantage buff for a short duration, granting you more global damage against slowed or immobilized enemies. Well, you have Huntress advantage. You now also have global increased throwing attack speed. I don't know the words that you're looking for either there, but how you been? How's school been going? Y'all just about done? Ooh, this is kind of nice. Okay, so we're definitely going to be getting um Nets hits chill. It has shorter cooldown. You can jump further when using net, and it has a reduced cooldown. So I need to change the button that I use for this, maybe? Nah, I could probably hit 4.
Not happening.
Do that? Okay.
Wyatt says bar 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 when you call you can me Wyatt bar 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 bar.
All right then. That's fantastic. Ba 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 Barbara Ann. Ba 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 Barbara Ann. Take my hand. Let's do this upgrade. Here, we want to go here. We want to go here. Here, here, here. 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 Perfect.
Not happening.
It's supposed to be Call Me All by Paul Simon. Okay. I do not know that song. Do not know that song at all. Okay, so we're into empowered monoliths. But goodness gracious, are we having a hard time with it? Goodness gracious, are we having a hard time? So hopefully this new net skill is actually going to help us out, and I really think it is. Also, we're getting some super good XP here. Oh, that really increases that advantage time too. Whoops, gotta remember where my ability. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's great. Okay, we're gonna have to start like actually dodging attacks, it seems. Which is really too bad. Because we all know Hermit can't dodge attacks. Definitely get larger area. Oh, the net throw thing can happen like instantly too. Like a whole build unto itself. Net stares enemies for a longer duration, for sure. Definitely want that. Okay, this is actually working pretty good. Where can I throw this thing? Ooh, I can throw it pretty far, but it only throws as far as my cursor is. So if I put my cursor short, it's not going to go until it hits somebody. Actually choose to hit some. Another one of those. Oh, and you can throw it past people so it doesn't stop if you miss. Ooh, that's crazy. It was your birthday yesterday. Hey, happy birthday,
Mr. Bean
what?
says
Y'all are really going out with the pointless psycho babble on the TTS today, eh? Blame Wyatt. He brings out the psycho babbling people. What's up, Mr. Bean? How are you today? This is quickly turning... You're 11? I could have sworn you said you were 13 to me the other day. Not the other day, but like a long time ago. I don't think it's so much that I have a bad memory. I think it's just that I talk to so many people about so many things that it's basically impossible to keep it all straight. But I'm doing good, Mr. Bean. Other than the fact that that dude was kicking my butt, I'm having a great day. Need to drastically improve some of our pieces of gear. Like this is totally useless here. Of course, it's got some forging. Let's see, maybe we can get something that doesn't suck. Hit me with something useful. Oh, nothing useful. Alright, so we need belt. We got some forging potential over here. Definitely, ooh. We're gonna try and get this crit strike multi off of here. You know, Wyatt, I really don't know. Really don't know. I played a little bit of Destiny 2, Mr. Bean. I pretty much beat all of the stuff in Destiny 1. And I've only played a couple of hours of Destiny 2. I never really liked Destiny 2. This wasn't quite the game for me. Oh. Oh, baby, don't be so mean. That's so good. We got the critical strike multi off of there. So now we can just put as much critical strike chance as we can. We might just get hosed and only get a +1, but we're gonna get... Oh. Oh, we got all the way to +5. Yo. Yo. That is an item right there. Oh my gracious. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That feels really good. That feels really, really good. That was some real luck right there. Yeah, Wyatt, I'm really enjoying this right now. Doing some like new build every week thing. Just I'm having a lot of fun with Last Epoch. I I just can't. There's something about Once Human. I'm having a really hard time spending enough time playing Once Human to keep up my stream stream time numbers. And I don't think there's enough stuff going on in Once Human to make a lot of long form. So I just don't feel, if I'm not going to be streaming, I need to be making long form videos. But I just didn't feel like there was enough stuff for me to be making videos. At least not the kinds of videos I would like. I really wanted to go back to Once Human and make that just the game we were playing. But I just couldn't quite get myself to play it the way I needed to. Just not quite my type of game. I'm more into the fantasy stuff anyway. I don't normally play first-person shooters. So, I really love the game. But, I don't know. Had a little trouble. Get into the net here. Two nets have a shorter cooldown, and then we're going to get another. Should try Grounded or Astroneer. So I don't own Grounded. I own the other one where you're a miniature person. I'm not really so interested in playing single player survival games because the survival aspect of the games is fairly monotonous. And so I want to have some interpersonal player interaction, right? Like I want to see other people moving around and stuff in the game. And I want to be able to interact with those people. Because I think that, seeing other humans is what makes the video games fun. I don't think games are necessarily fun when it's just you all by yourself. Or at least not survival games. Because the AIs are kind of easy to deal with.
Not happening.
Yo, what's up, Gravy? How are you today? How you been? How you living?
Not happening.
Oh, why is it suddenly on cooldown now? Got the affiliate thing today setting up. Oh, nice. Congratulations, dude. So happy for you. That's awesome.
Wyatt says his name is Gravy, he likes it on chicken, he's like here.
Pretty awesome. Once Human was getting kind of boring. And it's not that the gameplay is boring. The moment to moment gameplay of Once Human is fairly interesting. The problem I have with Once Human is that the macro of that game is fairly boring, I think. And there seem to be so many things that could be going on with the macro of that game that it's just kind of sad that some of those things aren't. And so I don't really know what to do, See all this potential and it's just not quite there. Makes me a little sad. It makes the game a little hard to play sometimes. But I'm sure they'll get there eventually. Baby on chicken, huh? Oh, hey, what's up? Oh my god, there's so many people in the chat today. I'm never gonna be able to keep up. Y'all are awesome. How are you today, Drat? How are things going? Just working. Working 9 to 5. Ooh, this is gonna be hard. Arena. Powered monoliths.
They won't forget.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that the game is about to turn off for a second. Hopefully, it'll only be a moment.
Not happening.
The dungeon arena? Absolutely. So this is just an arena echo, but there's a dungeon that is also an arena. To enter that dungeon, yes, you need a key every time, Gravy. Oh, shite. I was reading chat, and I got killed. That may be what it's called, Gravy. I actually don't know. Let's go find out. Champions Gate Arena. That is precisely what it's called. Okay, let's go in there and not actually die this time. The tournament is over, Wyatt. Tournament is over. The 5 places were taken already. The highest rank that I made it to was 251.
Not happening.
Unfortunately. But that's okay. Considering the fact that there were tens of thousands of people, I feel pretty good about 251.
Easy. Too easy. That was close.
Okay, okay. Why are there so many? Why do you teleport? There, attack that thing. Stop.
Happening.
Stop killing me.
Not happening.
My goodness gracious.
Not happening.
Ooh. A Teleporting bears is not okay. Teleporting bears is the worst. Don't like that at all. Ooh, that was scary. Um, let's go this way. Yeah, so we're, I don't know, feeling a little underpowered for being in empowered monoliths. Probably need to work on some of our gear a little bit. Is Jellybean alive? Jellybean is alive over in Once Human for sure. Jellybean can't die. Jellybean is immortal.
Not
The
happening.
immortal slime.
Not happening. Not happening. Not happening.
Oh, it's a traversal skill, so it's on the same cooldown. Got it. Got it. That sucks. Can't really use both of those skills. That explains why I've been having a hard time. Interesting.
Not happening. Not happening.
Oh, she got all her health back. Is this crap? Goodness gracious, y'all. I am in way over my head. This is ridiculous. Every one of these enemies is like a freaking raid boss. The difficulty curve of this game is so ridiculous. Like, you get out of normal monoliths, and it's just like, here, get slapped the fuck down.
Not happening.
Know that 5 seconds ago you were super overpowered, and you just walked through everything. But here, have fun being beat down by the most basic of enemies. I am so afraid for my life right now. How am I supposed to beat these things? This doesn't even make any sense. Alright, I forgot to check the time again. Oh, it's 12:30. Okay, well. Poop. Time for you all to be on the Be Back Soon screen. We have to exit this game. Because it's going down right now. So, yeah. Unfortunate. Something we can play real quick. What games do we got here? Something we could just jump into. Quick session. And we'll come right back to last Epoch. Hmm. Y'all ever play Auto Battlers? Hey, thanks. I appreciate it, Wyatt. I got an AI to make it for me. Never played an Auto Battler. Let's play one round of an Auto Battler real quick. Play a little Dota Underlords. We'll lose because I suck at them. I am not my older brother. And then we'll just go straight back to LE, and this will just give us something to do while they do whatever their patchy thing is. Make sure that we don't end up getting kicked out in the middle of a map. I do love the auto battler genre. It's really cool. You're just building up your board, merging units and stuff together to make more powerful units.
I knew you'd come back.
Oh, wow. Settings. I want to go to screen mode. There we go. Then we want to go to audio and we want to turn off musica. All right. And get rid of that. I have an idea you're going to say no to. Okay. I love saying no. It's like my favorite thing. Let's go fight. Do a standard multiplayer casual match. I don't know what knockout is. Let's just do a standard match. I haven't been back to play this game in a really, really long time. like, since it came out, like 6 years ago. Might not even be able to find a match. I don't even know. But anyway, basically you're on a chessboard in these games, and every round you get to pick a unit. Probably. What? Probably. TFT has just kind of taken over the auto battler scene. So maybe instead of doing casual, maybe if we do ranked, we'll find a match. But TFT has just kind of taken over the auto battler scene. TFT is a really good auto battler, but I don't want to deal with trying to log into the stupid League launcher. If it doesn't let me play here in the next couple of minutes, I'll just go back to last Epoch. But the way it works is every round you get to pick from a couple of units, and these units have affinities. So you might have like fighters, mages, healers, tanks, and then they've got a bunch of really random affinities. And the more units of that affinity that you put out on the field, the more bonuses you get from that affinity for your units. Whoops. Yeah, so it looks like most of these people are pretty new. So you're going to see here, I've got all of these, and then these are their affinities here. So I'm just kind of looking for things that are similar. Whoops. What did I do? I want to keep buying. I want to buy this guy too.
You need some muscle.
So these guys are the same affinity. So if you look now, I have Savage, Allied Savage units, and all Allied summons gain. Oops. All Allied summons gain 5, 8, or 13 attacks. So because I have 2 of them, they're gaining 5 attack. I might actually lose this. Oh, I could have gotten 3 units. Okay, I did very poorly. I don't really know what I'm doing. I have Shaman and I have Warrior. So maybe I should go ahead and grab this person here.
Need protected.
And I need to refresh. Okay, this is an item that I can put on the characters. I'm gonna buy, or I'm gonna get that one. I'm gonna put this item on Homeboy here. And we're gonna go, whoops, back up here. Got...
Put me on the front lines.
I've got too many people in the field. Okay, so I need to level up. Let's buy this dude.
Has come to White Spire.
Oh, don't have this. Don't have the coins. Okay, this user interface is way different than it used to be. I don't actually think this is the same game I played before, because I don't really understand what's going on. But ultimately what you're doing is you're building a board and then you're fighting against the other players, right? These are all the other players here. So I just won that little combat. And your goal is to slowly level these units up. And they automatically fight, right? I don't have any control over what's going on. So now I have 2 Earth Spirits. So I'm moving towards being able to upgrade that Earth Spirit. So mostly what I'm looking for right now is the shields and the slashes. So I'm gonna do like savages and warriors,
and I will give you
and try and make something out of that.
They won't get.
And then there should be a way for me to gain XP. There is. Okay, right here. So I should naturally gain XP, which will eventually give me the ability to have more units. Like this person has 4 units, and I only have 3, so they've done a better job of upping their XP.
And attack again.
And then every time I lose, I take health points. So how do I... Need 5 gold. Okay. Okay, now I got my... Now I can hit this. I should be up to level 4 so I can get another person in. So let's get another warrior. So now I have all warriors gain 10 armor. Actually, I want this guy in there.
This.
This dude's playing like a range damage thing. Oh shoot, am I gonna win this? Oh, you can do it, warriors. You can do it. No, you can't.
This is
That's too bad, that was close.
redemption.
We already have a spirit breaker, so that'll be nice. Oh, I need to get that conca. And then we get another item. Health. Within 1 cell have... Okay, nice. So this item is going to allow me to give a lot of things some health. If we hit this, so this is what happens. Now this is a tier 2 spirit breaker, not a tier 1, which is why I'm going to try and get it in here. We have 7 of 15 XP to get to the next. Doing a really bad job here. I am definitely gonna lose. Or maybe not.
Wyatt says Dart is his name. He has a big brain. He gets those games. He breaks chains with just a fist. Beware of him. He will not miss.
Rat breaks chains, huh? Hey, Mer. Actually, kind of like that. Hey, Mer.
I shall go.
Oops, sorry, I had all the action covered up. I guess it's possible we win this, but not likely. This dude does a bunch of damage, I didn't realize. So these games are fairly complicated to learn at first. There's a lot of, like, controlling your economy and stuff, because you typically gain more gold or having more gold. So you kind of want to build up your economy and then allow yourself to just kind of live off of the interest and stuff. So there's quite a bit of strategy that goes into these that I'm just bad at. Oh, I got another one of those spirit breakers, so I want to upgrade this. I want to drop this dude out here. Because he's my tier 2 unit, and he's also a green instead of a... Okay. So you can see this one requires like 3 gold. This one requires 2, and this one requires 1, because that's their rarity tier. Here's another one that requires 3 with the night bonus. And I actually need to buy that conga. And I need to go to the audio, and I need to reduce that down a little bit. Sorry, that was being really loud. Hey, I won one. Nice.
My victory is eternal.
Who did I beat? Did I beat the first place person? Bristleback.
I'll fight anyone.
I mean, you gotta have a dude named Bristleback, right? Okay, we're just gonna let our econ
Look, more
go up a
people
little
to
bit.
punch.
Fighting against Viz, who's like the lowest person on the game right now. I'm actually not doing all that bad. I've got 90 HP. The next high, or the highest person has 96, which kind of sucks, but only being down 10 hit points at this point is pretty nice. I did just get beat by the guy with the lowest HP in the game. So he's been getting his butt kicked, and then he kicked my butt, which is a little bit sad. Two placeable barriers, taunts enemies and draws fire. Attack target loses 5 armor for 5 seconds. Let's pull this one. Let's put it on... we got another Earth Spirit, which means we now have a Tier 2 Earth Spirit, which is nice. Then we got another warrior here, the Pudge. So let's get to Pudge. I'd like to have a dude named Pudge. I really want to get this bristleback out there. Pretty sure I'm gonna lose this. I'm getting the crap beat out of me, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so this is some sort of an underlord mechanic. This is just going to give all of my stuff a bonus. And apparently he sits out there on the field. Lycan is another savage. Does this remove any of my bonuses? It does. It removes my...
Come hell or high water, we win now.
I don't really know what my units are, like off the top of my head. I kind of need to get rid of this one, I think, and put Lycan in there. Because he's just a stronger savage. Maybe I should get leveled up. I'll level up on the next one and drop Lycan in.
My warriors will not fall. I stand by my warriors.
Honestly, I might start spending a little time playing this game in my off time. What the hell just happened? Okay, I just crashed. Super cool. Thank you, video game. Guess we're going back to last Epoch. That's alright. That was going really poorly anyway, because I have no idea what I'm doing when I play those games. You really need... Right? I was gonna win that. Gosh. Having some technical difficulties. at the beginning of this stream with the game going down and then getting kicked out of that game. Things are not going great. What's your question, Wyatt? I have an answer. It's probably no. No is my favorite word. Okay, well, the game seems to be running just fine, so let's get back into it. You have a long white beard like the Be Back Soon screen. My beard's not white. It's definitely pretty salt and pepper. I got quite a bit of gray hair going on, but it's not all the way white. I really hope. So I'm kind of losing my hair on top. But I have pretty long hair because I don't give a shit enough to get it cut. So I'm hoping to one day have like all white hair. I would really hate if it was like that dirty gray instead of super white. But one day I hope to have long white beard hairs. So could you guys be any harder to kill? Oh my goodness.
Not happening.
Hair reveal? No. Probably not, dude. Probably not. I don't have a really good camera. And also, I don't think that having a camera of myself or any part of my person would really add all that much to this stream. You know, if I was like super handsome, I'd go ahead and throw my face up there because people would watch just to see my beautiful mug. I am not handsome. So, that is just not a thing that would happen. I just almost died. This is so much harder. I had already forgotten again because we had been playing our hammer character for so long. I had forgotten how much more difficult the game seems to be. Um, I'd forgotten how much the difficulty changes from the regular monoliths just to the early empowered monoliths. Such a huge gap.
Not happening.
I thought maybe I was overpowered enough and it would be okay. I was wrong. We are getting
Not happening.
smacked around. Also got a new button that I have to press, so it's making me forget to press other buttons, like my heal button.
Not happening.
Fade and Wand, don't need that. Rogue Elite Regalia of Evasion. A lot of people, Wyatt, are just kind of chilling, listening, I think. I don't think a ton of people necessarily sit and actively watch the stream the whole time. A lot of people who are in here for most of the day just kind of pop in and out. A lot of people are at work and stuff right now when they watch, so they don't necessarily have the ability to just be focused in. It just gives them something to listen to and stuff like that while they go about their work, so. It also says there's 2 people. Well, so it says there's 2 people on YouTube, but then there's also a couple of people on Twitch. And if you don't have the internet tab as the focus tab, so if you like tab off onto something else, or if you don't talk in the chat for a while, it actually drops you as a viewer for the sake of that viewership number. So it can be a little misleading. Look at those, which is why for the most part, people who are streaming don't really pay attention to those numbers. I do, because, you know, I like to disappoint myself. But those numbers are really, really not indicative of how many people might be watching or what exactly is going on. They're very conservative with those numbers. Or maybe everybody left because I was playing Dota Underlords and everybody wanted to watch Last Epoch instead. Don't really know. People got lives. So the goal that we're going to be going through today is we just need to get our character up to a point where I can be going through and beating some of these harbingers, beating some of these bosses, getting through some of these empowered monoliths. One of the things we're going to have to do on this first one is I want to take some time, because I'm going to be spending so much time trying to level right here, right? We're only in level 84. We're in the level 100 monoliths. I'd like to try and get to level 90 as quick as possible. So we're going to be spending a little time in this first one, just doing some leveling and upgrading gear, stuff like that, because we're going to be getting better gear here. Lurking earlier, it took like you got sword and belt upgrade. Yeah, so I actually have, yeah, the belt I was trying to upgrade. And then the my amulet I didn't realize still had some crafting potential on it. So I put this amulet and I did some crafting on it and it upgraded huge. This is such a good amulet. I wish that I had increased physical damage instead of increased cold damage, because I'm not really doing cold damage right now. But super good amulet. Very excited about it. We sealed off a tier 4 affix, which is crazy. I've put in, I went and I did some work on some of these recolors here for really specific stuff. So I recolored my relic, my ring, my ammies. I haven't done glove, boots, belts, body, or helmets yet. I haven't done any of the armors. But I did the accessories and I did the weapons. So now I've got some very specific requirements for what weapons are dropping. I have a very specific subclass. So I want to pick up specifically the katanas and the obsidian daggers with at least 2 exalted affixes. And then I'm going to use those to try and craft the perfect dagger and sword for my build. So the dagger and sword that I have right now are actually pretty good. So it's going to take a pretty good one to be better than them.
Not happening.
So I'm going to take anything that's got at least 2 exalted stats. And then I'm going to use the special... Oh no, it's a teleporting bear again. Cocaine bear. Oh, I died. Dude, those cocaine bears, man. They just be fucking me up. Okay, whatever. But then I've got a very specific amulet I want. I've got a very specific relic I want. So I've got all of those looking specifically for those subclasses of items. Specifically with 2. Yeah. Well, so this is why I like... this is nice. 5 potion slots. Tier 6 health. Let's see. See if we can't do something with this and get a better belt. Because this belt, the lightning and fire damage here don't do anything for me. Because I'm not doing lightning and fire damage. So we've got a cold damage and a poison damage here. So let's re-roll these and see if I can't just get anything useful. Holy crap, game. What are you doing to me?
Not happening. Easy. Too easy.
But yeah, that's why I like playing the tanky character so much, is as you saw there, I'm just not really good at dodging the abilities. Right? When there's too much stuff on the screen, I just go run into shit and die.
Not happening.
Gracious. What I was hoping to do was turn every class into a tanky class. Most of the classes have some sort of skill that allows them to get significantly tankier for a brief time. Like my rebuke skill, like the bubble skill, or sentinel. But it doesn't seem like the rogue specifically has one. So it looks like this is going to be one of the few classes that I can't do that with. I know for a fact that the mage has one. They have the focus skill, which is a skill my little brother's using to great effect for pretty much the same purpose. So hopefully we can just go ahead and move into mage next, or primalist, or one of those other ones. I really kind of want to make a spellblade, which is one of the mage classes, but it's melee damage, primarily elemental. I would like to make just a straight up elemental damage build instead of the ailment builds that I normally make with like ignites and stuff. I think it'd be cool to just straight up do elemental damage. There are some good item bases for weapons, some good sword bases that increase crit chance and stuff like that with elemental attacks. So I think we can get a good sword. We can get a good sword base. We can get it crafted up. Should work out pretty good. Holy crap, that was rough. Both on melee hit. This has a cull, which is nice. Instantly kill enemies left below 18%. Okay. You know what? Fuck off, dude. Don't need either of those. Yeah, we'll keep that. I mean, I got hit by a lot of that dude's skills. He just didn't hit me hard enough to kill me. And I was pretty locked in right there. That was me like on serious focus mode.
Easy. Too easy.
I guess maybe I just compare myself a lot to the people I grew up gaming with. So there was a whole group of us, right? It was my two brothers and me, our best friend growing up. Um, you know, a couple other friends we met when we moved to college, stuff like that. And we would just all sit around playing video games. And when I compare myself to my two brothers and our good friend growing up, they're all better at video games than me. They're all better at pretty much every video game than me. The only video game I've ever felt like I did the best job at was Guild Wars 1. And it wasn't even necessarily that I felt like I played that game better than everybody else. I just felt like I played specifically the warrior class better than my friends. And so I guess I just have a little bit of a complex where maybe I think I'm worse at video games than I actually am because I'm constantly playing against them and they're just constantly shitting all over my life. So maybe that's the problem. I've never seen this bow before. I kind of want to look at this. Low tier bow. I'm surprised. But bonus critical strike chance, that's nice. I don't really see the mana. This is really resistancy. Cold resistance, physical bow damage for minions. +2 to maximum. Oh, okay, I get it. I get it. So this is for the ballista build. That's cool. I'm not really into minion builds, but I think a ballista build in this game would be pretty interesting. So the ballistas are just like totems, for the most part, but they're ranged totems, basically. So you just drop it down, it doesn't move, it's a fixed position. And so your goal is kind of to like run up next to a pack and then drop your ballistas and then run around evading enemies while you drop ballistas. Would probably be a really good path for me to take, and maybe I'll try and do another 0 to hero with a ballista build, because it would really give you the opportunity, right? You cast your ballistas, and then all you have to focus on is dodging the enemy attacks. So instead of trying to deal damage and dodge, you're really just focusing on dodging. And so I like things like that. It's why I love the tanky playstyle, is if you can cut down on the mental real estate that you have to be utilizing at any given time. These games are designed so that your actions influence your DPS and your defenses and stuff like that a lot. You know, your damage per second for your actual skill is, you know, whatever it is. But if there are seconds where you're not doing any damage, then obviously that very much limits your overall DPS. And so anytime you can set things up where you're not you're not doing one or the other, right? If you can be doing damage and dodging at the same time, then that's kind of peak. Because now you're not taking damage, so your overall defenses are higher, but you're also dealing damage, so your overall DPS is. And I think that's why minion builds are just generally some of the strongest builds in these games. It's always been that way in Path of Exile. There have always been really, really strong minion builds. It's always been that way in this game, I think, too. There's always been really strong minion builds. And the reason for that is you can't, because of the safety of the builds, right? Because of how safe minions are, you can't really take away from their strength because they still have to be strong enough to kill things. Because if you put all of your stats, if you put all of your points into minions, and then those minions can't kill the enemies that you're fighting, right? If they can't stand up to the boss, take a couple of hits because they're too stupid to dodge, because there's just nothing you can do about that to get them to dodge. They have to be tanky, they have to be damagey. And so they should be very, very good builds, just always. Would you go for the melee or ranged ballista build? Asking because that stat was on a... yeah, if I was going to play ballista, I would go for a ranged. Absolutely. If you're going to play a ranged minion, I suppose it could be kind of interesting to use yourself as bait. So I don't know exactly how the ballistas work, but if they shoot through enemies instead of just shooting enemies, actually, let's look at the ballista skill. Summons a ballista that fires bolts at nearby enemies. Press A to give your minions an attack command. Oh, okay, that's cool. So you can actually get them to attack a specific enemy. That's really interesting. This says physical bow attack are the minion tags, and then scaling tags are minion and dexterity. So this would be just a straight up dex stacking build. Have any puncture? No. Let's see a little bit here. Ballista deals more damage. Base crit chance, Pierce. Here you go. Ballista bolts pierce enemies. Continue through targets they hit. So, because Ballista has the opportunity to pierce, your best course of action is to condense those enemies as much as possible so that the ballistas shoot through them and hit more. So it might actually be kind of interesting to make a melee character because you're going to be stacking dex anyway to improve the strength of the ballistas. You would end up with a huge dodge rating because dex gives you dodge rating, right? 4 dodge rating per dexterity. So honestly, you could probably get a really good dodge chance going on. And then you could just kind of get all the enemies to come after you. You throw your smoke bomb. You've got your taunt, which is cool. You've got your little, like I'm using here, the dummy, the decoy. So you could actually use these 3 skills that I'm using right here to some pretty good effect. The net, the smoke, and the decoy to help you bring all of those enemies together and then hold them together and protect yourself as much as possible. So yeah, I might actually play that as a melee. That could be really interesting.
Not happening.
Sorry, I think I was muted. The other option there would be to do it as a ranged character because you're stacking decks. Your other ranged skills would also do pretty significant damage. So you could just drop the decoy, drop a couple of ballistas, and then stand back and attack with your ballistas with like a hail of arrows or something like that to do some significant damage yourself and basically just turn yourself into another ballista. I probably wouldn't like that. That's too many buttons for me, and the purpose of the totems for me, ballistas, would be to allow me to focus on dodging and running away. So, yeah, I probably wouldn't do that. I would probably just run away. I really like this net skill. It is definitely allowing me the ability to punch above my weight class a little bit here.
Not happening.
That and the taunt are both super good for keeping me alive in situations where I should most certainly be dead.
Not happening. Not happening.
Oy vey. So hurty. Let's see, necrotic resistance, increased health. Those are two really good suffixes. You need some necrotic resistance. I don't have any resistance on that helmet. Actually, this helmet is not great. Yeah, let's check this out. Let's see if we can get a little something something here. This has increased damage over time and increased bleed duration as its implicits. That's not really great for me. Oh, this whole thing is just tier 5'd. So really all I need to do is get rid of this level of decoy and change it into something else. This is actually a great little helmet. Goodness gracious, just straight out of the box, a bonus right there. Nice little upgrade. That's cool. It's definitely not the base that I want, but I dig it.
Not happening.
Ruby Amulet, health, poison resist, use rate multiplier. Let's see, we got physical and void resistance on. We need the void, we don't need the physical. But we could also take the poison, would be just fine. I really don't know how I'm ever going to improve on this amulet, though. I mean, the increased cold damage is the only thing that could improve. I still have, hold up, I still have one forging potential here. Oh, goodness. Okay. Okay, so I have one forging potential. there's only one tier 6 mod. It's only the cold damage that isn't beneficial here. I have a Rune of Redemption, randomly changes the exalted affixes. So I have potentially one shot here to change this cold damage into something better. This is a really low roll on this tier 6. So what I'm really hoping for is that this doesn't take up my one forging potential and then gives me a stat that I want that I can then re-roll with these other runes. Here we go, Rune of Refinement. And maybe get a better, higher number. I doubt that's going to happen. If it does, I'm going to freak the hell out. But, yeah, so let's hit this. Let's see what this rolls into. Give me physical damage. Ah, you sucky piece of shit. Ah, well. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Let's see if I can re-roll that into something. Poison penetration is not useful. Increased area could be useful, I guess, but not enough that I'm actually going to put any more effort into this item. Let's see, we've got necrotic damage at tier 5. Health at tier 6. Wow, these are actually both pretty good. Pretty good little amulets there. Game is dropping me some pretty good little items. Unfortunately, they're just not quite better than the items that I already have. Ooh, 3 legendary potential. Thank you. Gosh, I love finding loot. So much fun to pick up loot. We got here endurance, increased mana regen, melee and throwing damage for your falcon. Let's go ahead and let's go in and let's do some of these body armor things. So as you'll see here, I picked silver amulet, and then I literally just went through and basically selected every affix. Because if I get a silver amulet with at least 2 affixes that are above tier 6, so that's 2 exalted affixes specifically on a silver amulet, then I want to keep it because we have the runes, right? The Rune of Havoc that allows me to move the affixes around, and then this Rune of Redemption that allowed me to get new affixes. So we have an opportunity if we get, good bases with a couple of exalteds to just get a good item out of that, no matter what those exalteds are. So we're going to do the same thing with all of our armor pieces. So let's look in here and let's start with gloves. So we're going to get gloves. Let's take a look at what the possible glove options are. So looks like we can have celestial gloves, our armor, chainmail gauntlets, just a bunch of armor, bleed and poison duration, we don't really need these, and then we have armor, vitality, and increased health. This seems really huge. These are level 91 glove bases, but those seem really huge. Then let's look at all the class ones. Let's go down to the bottom. These are the highest level ones. I level 86 here. So we got armor. We've got armor mitigation also applies to damage over time. This could have some pretty serious value. Increased cooldown recovery speed. Probably I want to go for this increased critical strike chance though. Void resistance, mana regen. Yeah, let's go for increased critical strike chance. So we're looking for Solarium bracers with literally any affix. Except for I don't need the Acolyte Mage Primalist Sentinel affixes. I'll just take the Rogue affixes. Wouldn't really matter if I got these. but we're just going to hit the rope. Need the idle affixes, and then we'll just take these random affixes down here. I don't think you can actually get the set ones unless you put them on an item yourself, but we'll just put it on there because it doesn't really hurt. And at least tier 6 of at least 2 of these affixes. Ammo. It's going to be a while before we start seeing these items in any sort of number, but I want to go ahead and get started trying to find them because they're going to be pretty important. 15 to 18% increased movement speed with a 20 to 30% increased effective haste on you. So I do basically always have haste. That does increase both my movement and attack speed. So increasing that bonus by 30% could be pretty important. Let's see. Now down here we've got armor, movement speed, reduced bonus damage taken from critical strikes. This is probably where I should go. Have an even better increased effective haste on the Vanguard boot. Fire resistance, decay threshold, cooldown recovery speed of evade. Yeah, so I think we're going to go reduced crits here. Because, you know, you are eventually going to get hit. Getting hit is going to make you take a shiznit ton of damage, and sometimes you are going to get crit. Just don't want to die in one hit. So you can reduce the damage you take from crits. Mitigate quite a bit of that. Definitely want that. All these other possible options here. We're going to make it so we have to get at least 2 of them, of at least tier 6. And we're going to update that bad boy. But what do we want for belts? Ooh, belts have actually some pretty good possible options. We've got movement speed belt. Could be fun. We have lots of potions. We have lots of armor. We have lots of resistance. I think I'm going to go with the movement speed belt. It's the belt that we want. The Divine Girdle. Because I have to avoid the attacks of my enemies right now, I just don't think that movement speed can be understated as a stat. If you're not just standing there eating all the attacks in the face, then the faster you move, the more attacks you dodge. That's just the way it is. We want 2 of those with at least tier 6. Let's do belts. Let's do body armor. So I also went through last night and I did a little checking into some of the some of the unique items, and I actually didn't find very many uniques that I thought were going to be valuable for this build. So we are very much going to be mostly just working with items that we create ourselves. There were a couple of uniques that seemed okayish, but for the most part, they were pretty meh. But let's look at the rogue body armors. What do we got here? We've got chance to receive a glancing blow when hit. Yeah, it is a little bit. I was also disappointed and excited simultaneously there. Because it's really nice to know that the entirety of the build is something that I get to kind of work on and build up to. But knowing that there's no cool little interactions that I could make with the build is kind of disappointing. But we have glancing blow and lightning resist. We have critical strike avoidance and critical strike chance. This is pretty huge right here. We have dexterity and falcon damage. We don't care about that. Poison and cold resist. I think probably I think probably gonna stick with this dragon hide. Crit avoidance and crit strike chance seem too good to be true, honestly. That's something I'm really looking forward to in this game. This game is still fairly young, right? We only had our 1.0 launch about a year ago. So there are a lot of other ARPGs out there like PoE that just have a whole mess ton of uniques. But I really like the way Last Epoch seems to make uniques. Um, I feel like they do a lot more interesting, like skill interaction type stuff with their uniques. So I'm pretty excited for this game to keep developing and keep putting more and more uniques out there because that's going to be a big part of their build diversity. And that's not necessarily common in um, that's not necessarily common in ARPGs. I have an absurd question. Can you filter by FP? What is FP? Forging potential. No, actually, you can't. At least I don't think you can. Let me see. Factions level, rarity, uniques, class requirement, affix count. Nope. That's an interesting thought, though. So, the reason. Yeah. No, you're right. It is a super niche use case. I honestly, I don't even know that I would ever want to use a filter like that. And the reason I wouldn't want to use a filter like that is because you do get an opportunity to get really, really lucky. For example, I just had 3 forging potential on my item, and I got to add like 4 tiers to it, and it just kept not using LP or FP and kept not using FP, and so I just got lucky, lucky, lucky. I hit a couple of crits in there, and that was while I was doing that amulet. So I personally would be hesitant to put any sort of FP limit on an item that I was picking up because I wouldn't want to miss an opportunity to maybe get a really good chance at something. So I would just, the resources to do the crafting are so cheap in a lot of cases, and you get so many of them that doing the initial crafting to see if I'm going to get lucky with my FP by like doing the chaosing and stuff like that is so cheap that I would rather just take the risk and throw away some resources than I would filter out lower FPs. Let's see, increase cooldown recovery, increase stun chance. Probably not what I want. Fire resistance crit multi. Falcon damage, damage leeched his health. Poison fire resist, bow damage, throw damage. Physical resistance, physical damage. So either I want this physical damage or I want this crit multi. I think I'm going to go with the dragon visage and do the crit multi. I need to recognize that that is going to greatly increase my fire resistance. So I probably need to not worry so much about my fire res leading up to that. Was thinking more of the angle to unfilter stuff that would normally be if it had crazy high FP. I think maybe I don't understand what you would be trying to do. Okay, I get that. You know, honestly, that's probably a good call. That would probably be valuable. Because even if it's not exactly the base I want or exactly the stats that I want, you're right. There is a point at which the foraging potential just sort of makes an item valuable. Oh, this sucks. I'm gonna have to run around here trying to kill all these. While I'm getting beat down.
Not happening.
Come on. We can get them. Oh no. We're out of freaking healing potions. Did I miss one? Oh, I missed the last one. Sucks to be me.
Not happening.
We almost got them all, though. Fucking loot hype, dude. Loot lizards. That was mildly disappointing. There are way too many ranged enemies in this one. Not really appreciating this game.
Not happening. Not happening.
Oh, holy crap, we made it. Oh my goodness. Things got a little hairy in there a couple of times. Yeah, poison and fire resist, crit avoidance, fire resist. Oh, that's a lot of fire resist. Holy cow. Probably not really useful. We don't need that two-handed axe. We don't need that wand. That's too bad. Some good glyphs in there, though. And let's see. That's pretty useless. The katana. The stat we don't need. That can be changed. Sai. Physical damage, increased attack speed, the stat we don't need, and chance to bleed. Okay. Take a look. So this can be done where we rotate the affixes. And if this tier 6 lands on either of these, that's pretty huge. What I would probably want to do though is first chaos this one. And see, right, like now we can get a health on melee hit. That's pretty valuable. And then maybe get melee physical damage, so that's a base damage. If we sealed off this tier 3 attack speed and then put another physical damage on here, then we have two really good things to hit for physical damage with this tier 6. And honestly, even the health on melee hit is probably pretty valuable for us, so we're going to try it. Okay, we're going to try it one more time. Nice. Holy shnikes. We have melee physical. We have attack speed. We can put physical damage, which is a percent, or melee damage, which is a percent. We're going to put physical damage. That should be a higher percent. We're only going to hit it one time. Because if this gets the 6, then I want to have as many opportunities as possible to change this. So now we're going to re-roll these. Okay. We got the tier 6 on the flat fizz, which is awesome. It does, however, mean that we only get one chance. Oh, we just used 19 forging potential. That's unfortunate. We get one chance here. Change this minion, melee, and bow damage into chance to chill on hit. Oh, and it used up my last 9 forging potential. So that's actually not going to be better than what we have right now. We have 2765. This gives, oh, it is actually still better. Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, we did get tier 4 increased attack speed sealed off of the item, which is, I mean, we now have 2 tier 4 sealed affixes, and we've gotten both of these today. So, like it kind of feels bad, but also the luck of getting the tier 4 sealed affix is way higher than the luck of re-rolling into something kind of useful on the other stat. So, yeah, we're okay. I feel fine about it. I wish that I could re-roll these implicits because I could get 2% more crit strike chance, and I could get significantly more dodge rating, right? Those are 2 really low rolls there. So it would be cool to still have like 1 forging potential to do that with, but I wouldn't have done that until the very last thing anyways, so. Now let's check out this thing right here. I don't have any more of these special runes. So this tier 6 is not useful there. Would be great if it could be the flat damage. This is actually a really high roll for the crit multi, which is nice. 48 out of 50 is great. So if I could get this to turn into this, right? If I could switch these two, or if I could just re-roll this one into something else. Let's first see if I can get this chance to poison on hit into, nice. Health on melee hit. We still have 43 forging potential, so this is really high here. So let's look at what else we can put on a suffix here. We don't need any of these chance to bleed, blind, ignite, shock, poison, slow. Slow maybe could be useful. Chance to shred armor, increase stun chance. Probably the thing I would want is I don't have any of them. but I would want physical penetration and melee physical penetration, and minion physical penetration. Don't have any minions, but I am doing a lot of physical damage. It is already on this one here. I have 8 tiers of it. So would love to see that. Or 4 tiers, 8%. I would love to get that back. And then I'd love to honestly seal off this affix and get the other melee percentage affix. So if that's the other thing, is if I can't seal off one of the prefixes, then I also wouldn't really want to keep this item. So, let's see. No. Okay, so there's still a chance because this item can still be rotated to something else. So if, for example, I rotated this to like the physical penetration, and maybe the physical penetration was only level 1, then I could still upgrade, a physical or something like that. I could re-roll with the chaoses. So there's still a little bit of chance here on this item. So we're going to keep it, but it's probably not going to be what we use. Oh, hey, we're level 85. Are we level 85? We're level 85. Crafting in this game is so freaking good. Increase damage while dual wielding, increase melee attack speed while dual wielding. Oh, I gotta get to 5 points to get that. Okay. We definitely want to spend our next 2 points there then. Ooh, and I just got a Rune of Havoc. And a Rune of Redemption. Okay. Need more of these, though. Use physical penetrations. Do I have anything with any forging potential? Might be able to have some fun with. No. No, no. We do have some forging potential here. Don't see any of that being useful, though. No, no. Got some forging potential here, but I definitely don't want to change any of that stuff. I need a new freaking ring. Oh my god. Okay. And what about this? Crit chance. Oh, it has no forging potential. Okay. We need a new ring. We need a new ring, and we need more of those penetrations. I think I recolored something with penetration on it. Might be one of these up here. I don't really know. I'm pretty sure I recolored something with the penetration on it, though. So if I do see any more physical penetration. There you go. Give me some melee spiders. That's what I'm talking about. Let's have an easy one.
That was close.
Freaking Titan leeches, dude. Go back to your swamp. Get the hell out of here. I want to talk to you. I'm not gonna be friends. I'm not gonna send you a Christmas card. Fuck off. Let's get rid of all these little danger crows in this Titan leech before we worry about the big boss. There we go. Now we just gotta kill this. Get the hell out of here. What do you think you're trying to do to me? Alright.
Not happening.
Oh, now.
Not happening.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. She hits so hard. Not even fair. For real, though. That tail flap happens so fast. She just whacks me with it.
Yes.
I like it. Not happy about it.
Take care.
Oy vey. I definitely like this game more when I'm winning. Their enemies in this game are. Like, these immortal eyes are white. No! Why is my stream crashing? Stop crashing. Much. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? Yeah, we're gonna be back a bunch of times in a row, too. It looks like my internet is now. Oh, did we crash again? Oh, no. Please stop. Please stop. I don't think we're gonna stop. I think something is legitimately wrong with my internet right now. I don't even know if y'all can hear me anymore. But I'm just gonna stop streaming because that's 3 times now the stream has crashed. Um, I don't know what's going on with my stream, but it's obviously not working right now. So thanks for coming by. Thanks for hanging out. We had a good run, 2 hours in. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna crash again here in a minute. So yeah, I'm so sorry, y'all. I just can't. Not really something that's in my power to fix, so we'll just have to live with it, I guess. But yeah, I hope everybody has a great day. I'll be back tomorrow. I will continue to play and try and get some stuff done. Try and get this character up a little stronger, so I don't look like a total scrub while I play. But thanks. It was a great 2 hours. I had a lot of fun. We had some good laughs. I'm sorry it had to come to an end already. But hope y'all have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.